Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all already know who this is. This is Ron the freaking Don. Now, today in this video, I wanted to address the recent election victory by no other than Donald J. Trump earlier this week. I know a lot of people, especially a lot of women, are feeling real sad and sorry, crying, acting like they lost a loved one in their family because he won. It's like a replay of 2016, 8 years ago. But however, I'm gonna tell you what. This video, I'm going to break down and dissect why Trump has won and Harris has lost. Right? Hopefully it'll alleviate the sadness and look at things in a logical way, because when it comes to politics, I'm one of the most logical people in the world when it comes to politics. So I speak about things from a logical perspective opposed to a feelings perspective. Now, let's get to it. Right? Now, one reason why I'm definitely not surprised that Trump has won. Why is that? Because I seen it coming. I knew Trump was going to win by the way Kamala Harris was running her campaign. To be honest with you, she ran a terrible campaign. And I thought personally she was going to do better. So the way she was running her campaign, I would have thought that she was purposely helping Trump win. And why is that? Kamala Harris, first thing she done wrong, number one thing she has done wrong was from the beginning of her campaign when when they staged a coup, when the Democratic elite establishment staged a coup for Biden to exit the campaign, was that Kamala Harris, the first thing she done wrong was focus on identity politics. Was it Kamala Harris per se that focused on identity politics throughout the whole campaign? No, but a good amount of the time she was, but it was the mainstream media establishment that was focused on identity politics. As soon as Kamala Harris joined the campaign, it's been all about her being the first black woman. She's a black woman. Everything was identity politics, or everything was all about her being a woman. And then they try to hide her in the basement the same way they did Biden back in 2020. She tried to play a basement strategy that wasn't going to work. Everything was all about the joy, the vibes. Oh, she's a black woman. Oh. But for the whole first month of Kamala's campaign was, oh, she's a woman, she's a black woman, she's a woman. But nothing about policy. She spoke everything about her being a woman, but nothing about her policy. And on top of that, she had the advantage too because she was vice president in Biden's administration. Now I'll take that back. That's actually a disadvantage because this administration has been a disaster. So of course the odds are stacked against her. This administration was a disaster. So that was the thing. That definitely the number one reason why she lost, because this administration was a disaster, and we all know Biden was not running things, was not making any decisions. Everybody saw during his disastrous debate performance against Trump that he wasn't making any decisions. That it was a cognitive that he was cognitively disabled. So if he wasn't making the decisions, who was? Kamala Harris was making the decisions. And And so she pretty much was running the country the past 4 years. And it's been nothing but disaster after disaster. From the migrant crisis to a 10% peak inflation to us getting involved in 2 additional wars that we have no business being in. Between those 3 things, it was a disaster. It was this administration was a walking calamity. They dropped the ball on every single issue. After mention, Janet Yellen, the Secretary of Treasury, said that inflation was transitory. She said that nearly 4 years ago. So, and I guess there's nothing transitory about that. And on top of that, she was the tie-breaking vote for the Inflation Reduction Act, which increased inflation. So those are two policies she messed up on. And on top of that, she said on a interview with NBC or CBS, she stated that the border was secured. And as soon as she said that, as soon as she uttered those words, that's when Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, started sending them buses full of migrants that came across the border up to the Democratic cities in the north. That was brilliant strategy. It was morally, it was fucked up morally, but it was great political strategy. But yeah, that made everyone turn against the Democrats because all these migrants was coming through the southern border. 20 million migrants was coming through the southern border, by the way. 20 million migrants is coming through the southern border, and she said the border was secured. So she lied. So that's definitely what led to her loss. And they also giving them, the administration is also giving these migrants benefits, healthcare benefits, food, clothing, shelter, food stamps. Local government is being funneled through the local governments and the non-profit organizations giving these resources of taxpayer dimes to migrants, while the American people like me, others, average everyday working people are struggling, especially people in the black community, in the hoods of New York, LA, California, Chicago, Texas, Florida. Black communities are struggling all throughout the country, as always. But yet, we're not giving resources, a sufficient amount of resources to black communities, but yet the migrants, illegal migrants, are given sufficient amount of resources. You see how that works? But yeah, also what also brought Kamala Harris campaign into flames was when she was on The View. And she said, if Sunny Holston asked her, what would she do different from Biden? She said she would not do anything different. And that she was a part of all the big major decisions that has had the most impact. There you go. That was the nail in the coffin for her campaign. That was, and she put the nail in her own coffin. She buried herself right after that. Oh yeah, in the endorsement of Dick Cheney, her embracing the daughter of Dick Cheney, a warmonger named Dick Cheney, embracing his daughter Liz Cheney. That definitely buried her. That definitely that was definitely her burial, because she's embracing the endorsement of a warmonger, of the daughter of a warmonger who was the mastermind behind the whole Iraq and Afghanistan war in the Middle East back in the 2000s during the Bush years. So yeah, that's what led to her campaign, to her defeat. And like I said, her focus on identity politics. She alienated America, the rest of America, when she focused on identity politics, her being a black woman of color. Same way, she had the same fate, she suffered the same fate as Hillary Clinton. Maybe not the same magnitude as Hillary Clinton, but she suffered the same fate by focusing on on race, identity politics. Race, gender, identity politics. Hillary was talking about the glass ceiling. He's talking about, and now Kamala's talking about the first woman, black woman of color. Talking about they don't trust women, and all she spoke about was reproductive rights. Or the issues that she was speaking about, which is identity politics, race, gender, identity politics, and reproductive rights. The issues she spoke about did not pertain to the rest of America, to the mass majority of America. It only pertained to the few in America, to the marginalized populations. And in her economic plan for the black community, which does sound good on surface, talking about giving $1 million forgivable loans to the black community, the black entrepreneurs, black community for black businesses, to build black businesses, generate black wealth, opportunity zones, another version of opportunity zones that Trump put in place, and piggyback off that, and giving out government assistance to black communities, and legalizing weed on a national level. Yes, those sound great on surface. However, those are unconstitutional. Why? Distributing resources based on race is unconstitutional according to Title IX, and either Title IX or Title IV of the U.S. Constitution. So there you go. Everything that sounds too good to be true, usually is. But yeah, this is what led to the defeat of Kamala Harris' campaign. Not to mention that she's also part of the reason why Putin invaded Ukraine. Why? Because before Putin invaded Ukraine, she went over to try to negotiate a deal with Putin, and failed to broker the deal. Well, there you go. That cements her failure of her campaign. But that'll be all, folks. Hopefully y'all enjoyed my breakdown, and hopefully y'all don't weep too much in y'all sorrows and y'all tears or whatnot. But good luck to y'all, and I will catch y'all in my next video. Y'all like this video, hit like, subscribe, leave a comment. I'll catch y'all in my next video. Peace.